right
I
direction.
think the first thing you do is you do not cut the knees out from under ARPA-E. You make sure that our national labs are appropriately and sufficiently resourced, but also that our national labs then are really working, partnering with industry rather than being somewhat isolated in terms of what it is that they are working to advance. I think there's a lot more partnering that can and should go on, but I really do think that the regulatory piece is something that we have to pay attention to. We have to address because it seems that more often than not, you will have the good ideas getting out front, and after 10 years and millions of dollars, people kind of give up, and you can understand. We talk about the hydro space. And the reality that right now we're looking at about 10 years on average to relicense a hydro facility. Relicense. This is existing. And it's taking 10 years on average and millions of dollars. I was talking with one of our utility managers down in the south central part of the state, and he has a small hydro facility. Small hydro. He's been working on a license now for 6 years. It's cost him several millions of dollars. No fish in this dam at all, and we can't get moving with this. So making sure that we've got the institutions in place, ARPA-E to help with the innovation, our labs, but also dealing with the regulatory morass that is really holding back so much of the innovation, and we certainly hear that in the nuclear space.
Mm-hmm. And if I could add to that, sure. We want to build a small hydro project to serve one of our communities of about 200 people, Old Harbor and Kodiak Island. Lisa's been there. We spent 7 years getting a license to build this. We asked for two 262 kilowatt turbines. They licensed it for one because we didn't currently have the load to justify a second one. So we have to go through the entire licensing process again for another 262 kilowatts. It has cost us over $1 million to get that license. Now again, divide that back amongst 200 people, less than 100 services. That's the sort of hurdles that we have to overcome. And so what it does is it pushes out that timeline, it pushes out that cost, so every year that is delayed, it costs another 3 or 4 or 5% to build it. So in the end, we're going to be looking at a $10 million, 262 kilowatt hydro facility, and it's all because of the regulatory hurdles that you have to go through. It's unconscionable.
And until that is built, that community is powered exclusively by diesel. And so you've got this weird inconsistency here where policy is saying, well, you need to move towards renewables, but we're putting every possible hurdle in place in front so that you cannot do that, and you're stuck in the last century. Mm-hmm. It's incredible.